This is the PickBits Daily Signal for Saturday, July 25th, your signal in the day's tech noise. Here's the lineup. 1. A Florida pastor says ChatGPT talked him out of seeing a doctor for months, then a blood clot nearly killed him, and he's the newest name suing OpenAI. 2. Anthropic put a dial on your AI bill, a new flagship model at half the price of the Frontier that lets you trade cost for brains on every call. 3. Part of your electric bill may be going to power somebody else's data center, and Meta just quit the clean energy club it joined in 2016 rather than stop building on gas. And 4. On the brighter side, the chest scan you already had might be hiding an early warning for the thing most likely to kill you, and a real trial this month showed AI can flag it in time. Let's get into it. This is the PickBits Daily Signal. Story 1. Picture it. You're dizzy and your blood pressure is swinging, so you ask ChatGPT what's going on, and it tells you to rest in a recliner. That's close to what Scott Winters says happened. He's a former pastor in Florida, and for months, he says, ChatGPT kept reassuring him, waving off his symptoms, even reframing his wife's push to go to the hospital as pressure she was putting on him out of exhaustion. His wife is a registered nurse. Then he landed in the ICU with a massive pulmonary embolism, a blood clot in the lungs that kills people.
The lawsuit is one of the first of its kind, but there have been a number of reports about people developing distorted thoughts or delusional beliefs triggered by interactions with AI chatbots. The repercussions can be severe, causing some users to experience heightened anxiety and, in extreme cases, to harm themselves or others.
The difference here is the harm was physical. The first U.S. suit, his lawyers say, wherein AI's medical advice put a body in a hospital bed. OpenAI's answer is one line. ChatGPT is not a doctor. That's true, and it's in the terms of service. But the company also ships a product called ChatGPT Health, and once you brand something for health, a disclaimer may not cover you. So use a chatbot to write down the questions to ask your doctor. Never use it to decide whether you need one, and if an AI ever argues against the actual human telling you to get care, that is your cue to get the care. Follow this one, because a court is about to decide whether a chatbot that hands out medical advice can be sued when it gets you hurt. Story 2. If you sign off on an AI budget, this one moves a number on your spreadsheet. Anthropic launched Claude Opus 5 yesterday, and the story isn't the benchmark, it's the price. Frontier class reasoning at $5 per million tokens going in, 25 coming out. That's the same as their last Opus, and half of what Fable 5 charges just to read your prompt. Now, the whole industry has been scrambling to get its inference bill down.
For a long time, Microsoft's flagship Copilot AI tools have been heavily reliant on models from OpenAI and Anthropic. But engineers are now planning to test whether Kimi K3 can take over some of that heavy lift.
Anthropic is making the opposite bet. Don't swap down to a weak model, take the strong one and turn it down when you don't need it. Because the genuinely new thing is a dial. 5 effort settings on every request, from low up to max, trading cost against how hard the model actually thinks. That turns picking a model from a one-time call into something you tune per request, a knob your finance people can actually watch. Catch, these are Anthropic's own benchmarks on tests Anthropic picked. So the move this week is boring and correct. Run it on your own traffic first, then map your request types to effort tiers, cheap work on low, hard reasoning on high. You capture most of the savings without a migration. Follow this one if models are a line you approve. Story 3. Here's a bill nobody let you vote on. If your electric bill climbed this summer, part of the reason might be a data center you will never set foot in.
And they had no idea that this was happening.
If you live in any of these states, your electric bill is higher this summer. It's not because of anything you did. You're paying more because the world's biggest tech companies are building so many data centers.
Power is the whole problem. The firm, always on kind. Training and running these models needs firm electricity faster than anyone can pour concrete for wind and solar, so the biggest names are quietly reaching for natural gas. And this week, one of them got called on it. Meta withdrew from RE100, the corporate pledge to run on 100% renewables that it joined back in 2016, because the group that runs it ruled Meta's new gas build-out no longer qualifies. That includes deals for 10 gas plants tied to a single AI data center in Louisiana. Meta got pushed out of that club, and it is not alone. Microsoft signed a gas deal in West Texas last month. And here's what gets me. Meta made the choice. You get the bill. The cost lands on people who never signed anything, the ratepayers who share the grid, the towns hosting the plants. So the lever that's actually yours. Your state utility commission is where these deals get approved. Find out if there's a data center case open in your state right now, because that room is where your bill gets decided. Follow this one. It is not slowing down. Story 4. This is the good one. You might already have had the scan that can catch heart trouble early, sitting in a file, and the AI to read it has been cleared and barely used.
Heart disease remains the #1 cause of death in the U.S., more than all cancers combined.
And with today's technology, artificial intelligence is now being used to detect heart disease. And here now to speak about the new CT heart scan is cardiologist and director of cardiac CT at ImageOne, Dr.
Here's the idea, and it's almost boring. Every year, about 20 million Americans get a chest CT for something unrelated, a cough, a fall, a cancer check. And sitting right there in those images is calcium in the heart's arteries, the earliest hard sign of trouble. Usually nobody ever looks. FDA-cleared AI can read that existing scan, score the calcium, and flag it so a doctor follows up. No new scan, no extra radiation, no cost to you. The country already paid for it, and this got tested, not just demoed. A multi-site trial called AI-Inform, presented at a big cardiology meeting this month, found that when the AI flag fired, more patients actually got started on the cholesterol medicine that prevents heart attacks. And the math is blunt. 20 million scans a year is a screening program we already bought and mostly throw away. The honest caveat, the flag only helps if the health system builds the path from the scan to your doctor, and if someone follows up. But this is the one I'm glad to end on. The scan and the disease were already there, and a trial finally showed that reading it gets people treated. If your family has had a chest CT, ask whether an AI calcium score is available. Share this one. That's the signal. I'll see you tomorrow.